Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. It is already May. How crazy. These months have been flying by and I've been meaning to film so much. I'm so overloaded with my bachelor thesis, so I just haven't had the time. However, considering it's May, I wanted to make a new TBR. Will I stick to this? Probably not. Am I still gonna do this? Yes, and hopefully actually read this, because I got a lot of books on my TBR that I've been meaning to get to, and I'm finally starting to get back into a romance mood. Finally, after who knows how long. So let's dive back in, and let me show you the books that I want to read. We're starting off strong with Once Upon a Broken Heart. I've been meaning to read this last month already, and probably the whole year before that. And I'm gonna put this back on here and maybe finally get to this. Do I know what this is about? Still no. I just know that this is somehow connected a little bit to Caraval, but not really. Who knows? I really want to read this. But I've been wanting to film reading this, and I haven't had the time to actually just sit down and read. So I've never sat down and read this because if I just read 2 pages, I'm not gonna pull up the camera. So that is book number 1. Then we have a book I've been meaning to get to, and because I was talking to a friend recently about this series, I really want to dive back in, and that is Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. This is, I believe it's just short stories in the Shadowhunter universe, and I have loved the Shadowhunter universe. Forever, never, never. I just never continued, and I've read the 2 basic series, the Infernal Devices and the Mortal Instruments. I've read those and I've loved those, and I don't know why I never continued, but I have this, I own this, and I want to read it. So maybe in May. I feel like you can always read like just one story and then pause there. I hope that's how I'm gonna do that. I would love to do that. Then, because I'm getting back into romance, I'm so excited. I hope I can finally read these because I really want to get back into romance because it's my favorite genre ever. So this book is called Fool Me Once. Do I know what this is about? No, but it looks gorgeous. I think it's a workplace romance. I'm also not wearing my glasses, so I can't really read that well. Tension builds up as old sparks reignite when they're forced to work together. Hell yeah! Hell yeah. Okay, so I'll be hopefully reading this. If I sound sick, I'm not. I have pollen allergy, and it's spring. And then I've been meaning to read this for fucking ever. I think I bought this a year ago. No More Secrets by Lucy Score, and it looks so pretty. I even have the second book in the series. It's small town romance. She rolls in, big city girl, and asks too many questions as a journalist, and he's like, no, get away. And then maybe he doesn't want her to get away. I'm very excited for this one. This is what I'm looking forward to most, I think, because the first thing on the back is, what if losing herself is the key to finding where she truly belongs? And I also bought this a year ago. I think most of these books I bought a year ago when I went to Ireland, because they all have the sticker. It's all from the works in Dublin. Oops. Still haven't read those, but I haven't been home for 9 months out of that time. Oopsie. Anyway, this sounds cool. He has nice tattoos. Can you see that? Love that. Her identity mysteriously disappears. Crazy. So she needs to reluctantly accept help from her doorman, Luca. The real Catherine has been missing for a lot longer than she realized. I think that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. Okay, next up we have Going for Two. This is a football romance. And I've read the first one. I think I don't have that anymore, that book. But I read that, it was baseball, I think, and I loved it. Oh, his name is Nolan. One thing that Nolan Hill needed to learn about me, though, I could be just as stubborn as he was when it came to my job. Oh, that sounds so good. Okay, she's a physio, and he got injured, and his injury threatens his Super Bowl dreams, so they strike a deal. Oh my god. So that is also on the list. And it's really short, I think. It's, I think, less than 300 pages. So I'm very excited for that. And it looks so cool. And I love the first one. And then we have one more book that I really want to read. And that is Casket Case. And I've read Morbidly Yours and I've loved it. And I'm kind of hoping that this is kind of close. She sells caskets and he just shows up. He has been hiding something. Oh, I love that. I love that. So he has secrets and he just shows up. That's all I can tell you about these books, honestly. Like, this is really not a lot of information, but I love when I don't know everything. Like, I just skim the back to somehow get a feel. I think if I wouldn't try and explain something for this video, I wouldn't read it at all and just pick it up and read and hope for the best. So yeah, those are all the books. Let me show you. That's so many! Will I read those? Probably not, but you know, I'll try. I submit my project in a couple weeks and then I only have my bachelor thesis to worry about. So hopefully that goes well. It would be nice. Anyway, I am very excited to read these books and I'll let you know whenever, however I get to those. I really want to read this mostly, honestly. That's like on the top of my list. Will I read this anytime soon? I hope. I hope. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I'm gonna try and not disappear again. I'm gonna try to upload regularly, and until then, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you guys soon.